Hello, my name is Chris Massini. I'm the Management Forester for the Central Berkshire District, and today I want to have our virtual public tour of the October Mountain State Forest Day Use Area project. The project incorporates both the cleanup of storm damage here in the day use area, as well as removal of a red pine plantation and additional Norway spruce along a recreational trail, as well as hazard tree removal in the town of Washington Cemetery. What led us to initializing this project was a wind event this past winter, which unfortunately caused a bunch of severe damage to the day use area. This project is going to help the department by reducing the hazards to the public, reducing the cost of the storm damage cleanup, and reducing future maintenance costs. The second major goal is to try and recover the value of the remaining spruce to help offset those costs as well. Some quick information about the day use area. It was created in the late 1990s as a picnic area, as well as a beach and boat launch. It was associated with the October Mountain Reservoir, and at the same time the Washington Mountain Marsh Trail was built as well. We'll visit that soon. This area of Washington historically had several farms and residences. It became part of the Whitney estate in the late 1890s and early 1900s, and then was acquired by the state. The plantations, which are going to be worked in under this project, were planted in both the 1920s and the 1930s, and have recently gone into decline from both root rot in the Norway spruce as well as scale in the red pine. The picnic area, when it was built, was initially put in this Norway spruce plantation while it was unthinned. Over the years, the trees have succumbed to both root damage from recreation as well as armillaria root rot from the stress and wind damage. Each year several trees have come down, with that number increasing each year to where this past winter, as you can see, we had substantial damage, and the decision has been made to remove the rest of the Norway spruce. The project will remove all of the Norway spruce from the picnic area, including the logs, branches, and other debris. Many of the stumps that will affect the usability of the picnic area will be ground, and topsoil, grass seed, and straw will be put down as a way to finish and restore the site and prevent erosion. Surrounding the day use area, there's roughly 20 acres of Norway spruce plantation that are remaining. These plantations were thinned back in the 1980s using strip cutting, which at the time established a new generation of hardwood trees underneath. Many of the trees are sugar maple, yellow birch, black birch, beech, and there is striped maple as well. This understory is going to be fostered to create a new forest, but we're also retaining all of the existing native hardwood trees, as well as any white pine or hemlock and red spruce. The native softwoods are going to be retained in the stand, as well as some pockets of Norway spruce. The goal is not to eliminate the Norway spruce, but to move this forest into a more native mix of tree species. Here we're along the Washington Mountain Marsh Interpretive Trail, where we have the same issue with the Norway spruce being in decline and being a constant public safety and maintenance issue for the department. Our goal here, just as in the plantation outside of the day use area, is not to eliminate the Norway spruce, but to move the plantation into a more native state. The current decline of the plantation has already established an understory of native hardwoods, and in some cases white pine and red spruce have mixed in as well. We will not be eliminating the Norway spruce. There will be pockets remaining of trees that we feel will last long enough into the future to leave standing. The trail itself will be protected during the harvest and will remain open afterwards. And there will also be, in this area in particular, invasive control work, but in the project as a whole, invasives will be treated prior to harvest and will be monitored afterwards as well. This red pine plantation has been suffering from a red pine scale outbreak over the last couple of years and has caused decline in the overstory. Many of the trees have already died, leading to a natural understory of northern hardwood trees to seed in. This portion of the plantation is full of sugar maple, which will be a great forest as this grows up. Throughout the project area, I should note that trees marked with blue paint are the ones that are going to be cut. A line horizontally across the tree was marked as a saw log. If it had a dot, that means it was a smaller tree or of poor quality that would be considered pulpwood or firewood. And an X on a tree meant that the tree was already dead and needs to be removed as a hazard, or if far enough from any roads or trails or historical objects can be left as a wildlife tree standing. I'm now standing inside the Town of Washington Cemetery located within the project area. As part of the in-kind services of this contract, the state is going to assist the town by removing trees within the cemetery that they felt posed risk to not only the existing gravestones, but also the cemetery as a whole, with the potential of trees being uprooted. The idea is that we will be able to harvest the trees safely and without disturbing the ground for the town of Washington to lower their maintenance costs within the cemetery. Another aspect of the day use area project is the maintenance of West Branch Road leading from the Four Corners to the trailhead and the day use parking area. Through this project we'll be knocking down all of the dead or hazardous trees along the side of the road, as well as treating the invasives. This is where we are going to have the truck landing to come be loaded with the logs from the operation and then be taken out West Branch Road, most likely to County Road, to Route 8. The logs from both sides of the project area will be forwarded out on existing skid trails here to the landing. A quick wrap-up of what's happening here is the restoration of the day use area. We're going to be treating the invasives throughout the whole project area, and also the assisting the town of Washington in maintenance of their cemetery are the three main in-kind services provided through this contract. It's hoped that we can start this project as soon as possible and have it wrapped up before fall.